Mon General, you have disappointed France. You have won victories, and I commend you for them. But the goals which we set forth have not nearly been achieved, which I must say brings great shame to my name as a Bonaparte. In 1 month my great-grandfather took control of all of Sardinia, and we in 1 month couldn't take one city. One damned city. In any case, my generals, as it stands, we must pursue war initiative. Our foundational principles as an empire are one of attack. In defense, always in defense, but of attack. Due to this, I draw up the following directives. First and foremost, in Turin, we know Garibaldi knows strategy and is a good leader of men. But I also trust in his spirit as a brave man that we can use it against him. We will very, very, very slightly make an opening behind their back to retreat to more favorable shelling positions. This will allow Garibaldi to either try and get support or even move out of the siege, or secure the outside premises, both very beneficial. I mean, just not taking it would either mean that he mind-read us or has such a massive perception of everything that he's willing to let such a big chance just walk away. In any case, what we actually will try to do is make the movements for shelling, but if Garibaldi moves out to either retreat to a more favorable position outside the city, take the premises, or otherwise, quickly with our cavalry, cut him off and push through the gates. They will keep open the gates. Any outside forces Garibaldi has will be probably destroyed. And from then on, Turin will be taken. Now, to be clear, this is a very fast-paced operation. We cannot allow sloppiness here, which is why I plead with you, my generals, not to betray us now. Not now, for the love of God. And I do not mean treason. I just mean, do not betray my confidence in you. I might be young, and I might be inexperienced, but I trust my grandfather's army, the army he built. I trust in your ability to fight like heroes, like lions. I put my trust in you and in my soldiers. Now, should Turin fall, there are certain objectives the army of in Turin has to do, which will depend on other things. I will now move my focus on Pélissier. Pélissier, in his command, has the Spanish Corps, as well as several others, namely French. I think it amounts to 1 Spanish Corps and 1 French Corps. Now, you will excuse me, but the Spanish officers have not proven great. However, the soldiers have proven absolutely... one can just thank them for their bravery, to be entirely honest with you, my dear generals. For Pélissier, I have a rather simple command. His goal is to attack Marmora. Initially, he may wish, it is upon the discretion of the experienced Pélissier, how he will pursue this objective. But the goal must be that Marmora's army be pushed into open ground, shelled there, and destroyed. Right now, they are on open ground, if the maps are, I would say, accurate, and we are in the mountains. This will be perfect for shelling. We can ensure massive casualties there, and we can ensure that he's forced to either retreat or attack us. It's a good thing that we're in this position. Not the best, but it's acceptable. Should he attack, then mow him down. There is not much else either of us can do. If he attacks, we must defend, and we will utilize active defense. I hereby grant officers the initiative. Do not feel it is your duty to pursue objectives with good care, good command, and good spirit. Which is why Pelissier will either, if he's attacked, defend actively. If he somehow loses a line of defense, move into the mountains but keep mowing Marmona down. Force his army to just grind themselves off of the wall of Frenchmen and Spaniards. Once that is done well enough, counterattack. Or if he stays in the open ground and just gets shelled, once he either starts to retreat or otherwise attack. Now, we know the Spanish officers aren't great, which is why I'm giving each of them a French adjutant, just to advise. Breaking character. Right now, this would just mean that incompetence will not occur. Like, very competent, youthful officers will stand by the Spanish, advise, and make sure they don't fuck up. Back into character. I trust the Spanish bravery a lot, and I trust the French bravery a lot. Once Marmona is either grinding against us, or retreating, or even holding position, all three options are very much so fine. We must make a harsh counterattack. Preferably in the back, but if we can't, it should just be beneficial. Choose where you fight, and make sure you fight well. Moving to Bazaine. Bazaine has proven rather competent, and I will grant him that. He's taken Biella, and is in the siege of Ivrea. Now, what I fear is that Vittorio Emanuele might catch us in sidestep when we are neither in Biella nor Ivrea and catch us off guard. I do not wish for that to happen. Which is why, in my directive, Bazaine will also play the role of active defense, but only for a bit. Ivrea must fall. That will be the primary objective. If you have to shell them, if you have to make them surrender, preferably make them understand that we are Latin brothers. We speak such similar languages. The culture is similar. No single Frenchman in that army wishes any of those Italian soldiers immediate death, suffering, torture. We wish for the rightful king to return. That is all. And the Italians will hopefully understand. If not, well, we tried. But it will be a message done in the most brotherly language. I cannot vouch for what Bazaine will say. I also cannot come personally to make them, but I will visit French troops. Just getting shot at isn't smart. But I stand by that an appeal to our brothers must be made. Perhaps even switch sides again. Maximilian of Berame. We know of his achievements. They might not be massive, but they are achievements. His father's even more so. We can gather a brotherly memory to make those armies have their knees buckle, so to speak. In any case, if Vittorio Emanuele attacks, we shall retreat to the hills, perhaps just in front of Biella, and from there, again, in these open-ish grounds, or from the hills around Ivrea, we must rain down fire on Vittorio Emanuele. To just blindly attack right now, and lose such hilly positions where shelling and just mowing down the enemy is so easy would not be beneficial. At least not at start. Now here's the deal. Should Vittorio Emanuele attack, and we shall grind him down. If it becomes so disadvantageous, move back into the mountains, mow back from there. Shell them from there. Just make sure their casualties are massive. From then on, it will develop in 3 or 2 ways. First way, Vittorio Emanuele will press his attack. If that occurs, keep grinding them. Same as here. And eventually, when they have been just butchered to the maximum, which you will have to forgive me as a terrible cost of life, we shall counterattack with our cavalry, with our artillery, and ensure victory. The second option is Vittorio Emanuele will keep his army position here, in which case take Ivrea, move southward, and they Turin. Now, to be absolutely clear, if Vittorio Emanuele's army begins to march, because we will utilize reconnaissance for all of this, we are not stupid. If he begins to march, then positions on the hills will be taken, and he will be forced into a battle that is not advantageous to him. Attack is preferable, but for now we need active defense. The third option is, albeit unlikely, that he retreats to aid Turin or to Milan to secure that. Again, it is unlikely. If that occurs, then move to Turin, take Novara and Alessandria, and move south, of course. So, if he attacks, grind him down. Initially, none of these are to attack. We will not abandon our positions needlessly. Continuing on. In assuming the best case scenario, because, no offense, but there are so many variables, I just cannot predict them all, my generals. Should everything go to plan and Marmora's army be destroyed or forced to retreat eastward around here, should Turin fall and Garibaldi be captured, also as a special directive, look out for Garibaldi. If you can capture him, it would be perfect. And I would personally like to meet the person as your emperor. In any case, should Turin fall, Marmora's army be destroyed, and François Bazin take Ivrea, then all three armies should continue with their normal objectives, which is Pélissier to Genoa, Napoleon to, or well, myself to Alessandria, and Bazin to Novara. From there, assuming Pélissier takes Genoa, and, well, it's not assuming, but generally, if the French arrive at Novara, defeat them, and we to Alessandria and defeat them, and he to Genoa and defeat them, then I will move to Pavia. Pélissier will be allowed to choose how he moves, but he should first and foremost defeat Bixio's army, and then move to either Picenza or Cremona to delay any arriving other forces, perhaps even move to Mantua. While François Bazin should preferably keep the Northern Army off from us. Also, that is another directive. Should victory over objectives just become impossible, all armies should make sure that these armies fight separately. So if, per se, Bazin can't make Vittorio Emanuele attack, and also just to be clear, diversion will be employed. So taunting artillery attacks in just not nice places to force an attack or just force maneuver and such will be employed. Just so we can get them to attack and grind themselves, or just in general do something to our favor. If that's not possible somehow, then François Bazin will of course try to keep Vittorio Emanuele in the north. If this just doesn't work, then keep Garibaldi contained. And if this somehow doesn't work, then just keep Marmora contained within our own ranks. Of course, that's if everything fails and if we are just that bad. Now, another thing, in Genoa, the naval operation has shown itself a bit, how to say, unimpressive. At the very least, unimpressive. In any case, it is my directive, as I was saying, pardonnez-moi, due to the situation in Genoa, I have come to this express directive to name Charles Boudin, very good admiral, to the specific of the attack on Genoa. Now, why do I do this? It is my belief that for this to succeed, we need a daring, a competent, and a very ferocious man. A man with unquestionable loyalties. And Charles Boudin fills all the categories. Per example, he wished to personally oversee the effort to, through all the British blockade, bring Emperor Napoleon. Okay, so breaking character, reverse all of that. That was actually his real life achievement. He was extremely daring, he was extremely competent, and he almost wished to single-handedly to break Napoleon from France out, basically, to wherever he went. So reverse that, but yeah, just basically know he's competent. As a man with great competence, I believe he's well suited to the mission. Not to mention his many geographic and biological achievements, and in general, just very good leadership of men. As far as that goes, he's quite perfect. Should the attack commence poorly, he will be ferocious enough to pursue it where needs. Should it, for some reason, have bad weather, he will know where to redirect, and so forth, and so forth. In any case, there's a special directive for Genoa. When the Marines and the Foreign Legion, in all honesty, some of our very best, disembark here, they will be given a very clear order to move from Genoa, and if they can, if the amount of forces is proportionate, defeat Bixio. If that's not proportionate, move west to aid against Marmora, who will hopefully be pushed either somewhere here or destroyed altogether. If that does occur, then move to Ovada and Alessandria. Well, Pelissier will probably meet them somewhere at Ovada and move eastward. A general flanking maneuver, if even needs, I will let the competent officers of the Foreign Legion, who I have the most trust in, decide if perhaps it's a better idea to move to Piacenza. But these would be general goals. Okay. I do believe that is mostly all. Additionally, before I forget, in the naval theater, I am deeply disappointed by the actions of our admirals. However, I do not wish to toss away some of our best for a blunder. So my first secretary will compose a letter to the admiral, reminding him of his duties and of orders, and remind him of his honor and glory. The admiral cannot fall into a depression. He will be granted a very carefully worded letter where my generals, at least, and myself, we will try to evoke his best out of him. And that's why, my dear generals, I ask you to co-sign that letter when we compose it. Altogether, we must defeat the Italians before the Germans arrive, because if the Germans arrive, and the Russians and the others, then our situation will become extremely precarious. We must quickly and utterly decisively defeat the enemy, push back the king, push back the red shirt, push back the general, defeat them all in fashions previously mentioned through either deception, open battle, flanking maneuver, or otherwise. We, my gentlemen, are the Napoleonic army. We carry the spirit of Napoleon with us. How can we allow ourselves to be bogged down? When would Napoleon allow that? We know when in Mantua he raced all around Italy to try and do his best, which is why we shall commit to active defense, and then we will chase them back, almost like Napoleon did. Of course, our systems are better. We understand modern warfare more. But altogether, the spirit of active offensive, of ingenuity, and competence shall not be eroded. I trust Pelissier will not allow his defeats at Castigliagori and Tanagrini to go to waste, for he has been given a great chance in terrain to shell Marmora into defeat. I hope I myself, with advice from MacMahon, will be able to fool Garibaldi, and if not, well, sadly this siege will have to be a lot more bloody. And I hope Bazaine, a trusted officer, and a competent commander, same as all of us here, will do his job properly and deliver to the altar of the Empire a victory. If all three of us, or rather four of us, when Genoa occurs, do our jobs with precision and honor and glory and victory that we need, rest assured, my friends, we will be home in time for the coronation, and I may not need to reach maturity while being shot at. France will see a final victory in this. Une victoire finale. The Germans would call it Endsieg. We will not allow a coalition of reactionaries and conservatives to dull France's glory and honor. That is all, my friends and my generals. I count you all as friends and almost family. My father taught me much about the Bonaparte name in the army. This army fighting on all fronts for France. Which is why I wish you all the very best, my generals. Dismissed, and may God be with you.